So late. All right. I'm reading today from my dictionary of psychology. I'm actually packing up a lot of my books. I'm supposed to be moving, but who knows? Um, Moving into a building with an elevator, bigger building, sturdier building. I think this building's falling apart, and I'm on the first floor, so that's not good. But I said I was going to talk about soci sociopathy. I mean, this society is filled with psychopaths, sociopaths, and they're everywhere. Excuse me. They're everywhere. They're in seats of power. They're in middle management. They're on the shop floor, as they used to say. They're all over the place. They're roaming the streets. They're in your grocery stores. I mean, the behavior. So we're going to read through antisocial behavior from the book. And we're going to talk about a society, a successful society, is one in which multiple types of people can live in together, multiple systems, multiple institutions working together, um, functioning and flowing together so that everyone can has the opportunity to grow, evolve, and expand their minds. That's a successful society. We're going to read now what we live in the United States. And it don't matter if you live in the South, the North, the East, the West, a city, a town, a rural. It's all the same. This whole society was built on brutality and violence, and it's been maintaining that from the time it created the Constitution on. We got a brief rest in 2020, and we are so sick as a society, so out of our minds, that we asked to go back to psychopathy when we had a little bit of rest. 2020, you didn't have to go to a useless job. You could create whatever job you wanted. If you were essential, you got the appreciation you needed. There was no rent. Okay, which exposed a lot of people, because a lot of people was like, I only do what I do because I got to pay this rent and I got to pay these bills. That was gone in 2020. And you know what those people who did, you know what they did? Not a damn thing. They sat and said, damn, man, I wish the other thing would come back. Which showed you never wanted to be free. You never cared about your freedom. And all you want to do is be on the plantation with no responsibilities, and everything goes through the master. But that's over. And it's over for one reason. Nature is like, y'all destroying me and I can't have you. That's one. Two, the masters know they don't know what they're doing. They have no idea how to run a society. None. They're imploding and fighting with each other. So that behavior is leaking out. But we're going to read antisocial personalities, a behavioral disorder characterized by truancy, delinquency, promiscuity, theft, vandalism, fighting, violation of common social rules, poor work record, impulsiveness, irrationality, aggressiveness, reckless behavior, and inability to plan ahead. The particular pattern of behavior varies from individual to individual. All right, we got time. We're going to go through this. So truancy is basically not showing up. School is bullshit. And I see children all times a day in and out of school. So there's no schedule. People go, they don't go. It doesn't really matter. especially for black people. You're not going to get the job. I have 2 college degrees and was sleeping on the train. Don't use drugs. Never been, don't have a criminal record. None of that. When I was in the shelter, they kept saying, why are you here? Like, why are you here? Something's not right. They thought I was a spy for the Department of Homeless Services, taking notes. But then when they started to talk to me, the counselors, oh, he's a black man who stands up for himself. All right. He's difficult. That's what they do. You got truancy, you got delinquency. And delinquency is basically, shirking out on any responsibility. And we all should have responsibilities to each other. Truancy, delinquency, that's mostly used when you're talking about school and stuff like that. But you can be like that with the family. You don't show up when you're needed. You don't do your part. I get accused of that a lot because I can't pull my weight, because the social structure underneath me is completely insane. And if you look at, and what I found out is, not only is it insane, but black instability is funded. Black stability is punished. So, but that's a whole nother thing. Promiscuity, well, you had a president who said grab him by the pussy. You got one of the biggest celebrities and one of the most admired celebrities by my community is now been raided for sex trafficking. We have sex trafficking, which is a thing. Whorehouses all over Queens, New York. Sex work everywhere. Why? Because when you had blocks against you from doing careers, science, math, art, philosophy, whatever the case may be, when you've been blocked and the economy says, okay, now you have to create your own work, sex work is the first thing that pops up. That's why women will never go broke. They can always just sell their bodies. And these days, men. Theft, we already know about theft. People are walking in, and I don't even blame them. They don't have any money. I don't have any money. My baby's supposed to starve to death, like the Palestinians are starving. So I'm going to walk past all these supermarkets, and I'm going to let my baby starve. Don't have no diapers. No, I'm going to walk in there, take what I need, and I'm going to walk out. Theft. Vandalism. That happens all the time. You still see people even doing graffiti, not as much as they used to. People breaking things just because. People throwing trash everywhere. And this is not just like what you would call vagrants. This is just normal people in suits. People on the subway in suits with their nice bags and eating, throw it, drinking coffee, leave it on the train on the floor. Okay? Fighting, violence, and arguments all the time. All the time. Okay? Violation of common social rules. Things like personal space. Again, 2020 brought back personal space, keeping a distance. That was a thing before COVID. I always did that. I always gave people personal space. A lot of people would always give me, I'm in line, and people would come up to me and it's like, are you in line? Just because I'm not right on top of the person in front of me. I'm not like this on the person, so I must not be in line. I say, yeah, I'm in line. Oh, because you not. I said, well, sometimes I say I like to give personal space. And I usually get, oh, okay. Or sometimes, not lately, it's like, well, you can move up. That's it. They don't even give a damn. It used to be, at least they would say, oh, personal space, yeah. They would remember when they were civilized. A woman today was walking with her little child, and children have short legs, is walking. So I was behind them in the subway station. So I always slow down. If I can't go around you wide, I slow down because then I have to invade your personal space. This kid was right up on top of her and went around her and went through the thing, and she just looked at him like, amazing. Violation of common social rules. We've done that. Poor work record, which really everybody works. So I wouldn't say people have a poor work record. What it is people who are on jobs that are made up jobs, basically paperwork jobs, don't want to do it anymore. And a lot of our systems are a lot of our systems have a lot of paperwork and a lot of bureaucracy in it. So for instance, housing voucher in New York City, I'm running around struggling because the program that gives the housing vouchers has no direct line to it. I can't write them, I can't call them, I can't email them anything. I have to go to a non-for-profit that acts as a go-between. So their whole thing, they created them to create some jobs so that I have to go to them. And I was with one today, and it's insane. I don't know who my caseworker supposedly still works there, but the person that says they can't even get in touch with them, so you get no information. And I try to email them questions because I just have questions. You answer me the question, I'll do the running around. Just tell me what I got to do. So that's what the poor record. Impulsiveness. I've seen people lose control. Parking spots and traffic. These e-bikes and these bikes with this delivery is a menace. A menace. I've seen them almost hit children. They've almost hit me. I almost get hit by a bike and a car almost every time I leave the house. And I'll go out every day to try to exercise or try to walk. I walk about 2 miles a day because I got to go to the store that charges regular prices. That's another thing. Talk about theft. Local supermarkets overcharging because they know that a lot of people have SNAP benefits. So they just gouge. Irrationality and aggressiveness. We talked about it. The arguing, the fighting, the pushing, the being up on people in line, up and down the stairs, the escalator, pushing, being in people's faces, being aggressive all the time, and not even really knowing it. Reckless behavior. People are doing all kinds of things. Going to parties, drinking, doing drugs with people they don't know, laying down with people they don't know, hooking up with people they don't know, not using protection sometimes using protection. You know, it's just reckless. It's like, do whatever you want to do. You know, men sleeping with men and then claiming that they're straight when they deal with a woman. It's okay, but tell a woman, look, just tell a woman that you dealt with men. Because some women, that means something to them. Don't just tell them, no, I'm straight. When you know your last partner was a man, it's back and forth. And again, unprotected sex. So you got a lot of reckless behavior. You got people too throwing people on train tracks and things like that. That's the violence, that's the reckless behavior. And inability to plan ahead. There's no forethought. It's all about what my personal desires are at this moment. I feel like doing this moment. And 20 minutes later, I'm not feeling this. That's how quick things can turn. By the way, this is one of the reasons I tell young boys, be very careful dealing with these girls, because you're dealing with them. They could be horny at 5 o'clock and you're having sex, and at 5:15, I changed my mind. Get off me, get away from me. You raped me. So you have to be very careful. This is the society that we're living in. All this stuff. We live in an anti-society. I should start a little thing called anti-society. you know, or maybe social order, working our way back from anti-society. Maybe I should be that. Um, and you see, this particular behavior varies from individual to individual. So you know people who have these behaviors. We all do. The pathology is so thick that we're dealing with, and if serious scientists are talking about human extinction, that's how bad it is. Right? That's how bad it is. That's how bad the antisocial behavior is. That's how insane, that's how out of our minds we are. So be careful, be safe. You know how to support. Click the links, give donations if you like. Um, take care and be safe.